Cheers.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Business Connect Lunch and Learn about how to create a profitable marketing strategy. My name is Roisin. I'm going to be your host for today's session, and today we're joined by Ogo Abata, who's the founder of Creativity and Sense Consulting. Hi, Ogo. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so great to have you on today's session, and yeah, I'm very excited to hear what you've got to say about why people need a digital marketing strategy and a profitable one as well, and different ways that someone can differentiate their business as well, particularly as everything is so fast changing at the moment, and particularly in the digital market. But for everyone who is just joining on this Lunch and Learn, a very warm welcome to you. If you've not been on Lunch and Learn with us before, we have 30 minutes. So I've got a set of questions that I'm going to go through. I know she's created some beautiful slides to accompany my questions as well. But if you do have any questions for her on how to create a profitable marketing strategy, then please put them in the Q&A tab. And I can see already the Q&A tab is being used, which is great. And if you are just joining us as well, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box with who you are and what you do, so we can get to know a little bit more about you. And I've just enabled the chat box there as well. So Ogo, should we get into the main part of the session? Firstly, can you just introduce yourself a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And welcome, everyone. My name is Ogo Abata, and I help business owners differentiate impact and profit using creative thinking, leadership strategies, and digital marketing. My company is called Creativity and Sense. So I do a forward-thinking entrepreneur, a service-based business owner, or creative person. Are you ready to profit from digital marketing when you don't know where to start? Are you struggling to get traffic, leads, and sales for your business? Have you tried everything, yet nothing seems to be working? Are you not sure how to stand out from a crowd? Do you want to accelerate your impact and profits? Are you tired of trying to figure out so much on your own? Are you overwhelmed or not sure what to do next? Do you actually want to enjoy what you do? Because if you're not enjoying it, then really what's the point? So if you can relate with any of this, you're definitely in the right place. Don't go anywhere, okay? And you can type yes in the chat as well. You can relate with any of this. Today,
That's great.
We're here to talk about how to create a profitable digital marketing strategy. Over to you.
Sorry, did not mean to interrupt you there as well while you were in your flow. But yeah, I was going to say, we've got a couple of people in the chat who said yes, all of it. Sarvesh said he's very excited for today's session. Hi, Sarvesh. And a couple of people have started introducing themselves in the chat. So everyone who's joined, please carry on doing that as well. So it's great to see so many of you on today's session. And I think a few people are still joining us even now as well. So yeah, thanks everyone. So Ogo, today's session is obviously how people can go about creating a profitable marketing strategy for their business. Can you start with telling us why it's so important to have that profitable marketing strategy for small business owners?
Fantastic question. So let's start with thinking out of the horse, or rather thinking out of the box. How many people can remember that story about the Trojan horse? If you can remember, type yes in the comments, in the chat, I mean. You can remember that story about the Trojan horse. Apparently the Greeks and the Trojans were fighting a war for many, many years. And there just wasn't a breakthrough with that until the Greeks, I think, created this horse and put some of the soldiers in there and presented a gift, to the Trojans, who fell for it, and the rest, as they say, is history. So this is why you need a profitable digital marketing strategy today, because the market is very competitive. There is a war ongoing for people's attention, for people's time, and for people's wallets. So you really need to think hard about how you can differentiate yourself, how you can engage with people and achieve your goals. And I have to say, there is a difference between having a digital marketing strategy and a profitable digital marketing strategy. Some years ago, I worked with an entrepreneur and about her digital marketing strategy. And I kept trying to say to her, okay, you want to engage people on social media, you want to share all this content and do this and do that. Okay, how are you going to make money? Let's come up with a strategy for making money. And she kept saying, no, I don't want to make money. I have another business and I'm very successful in that business. I just want to do social media to have fun with people. Okay, so this is why you need to be very careful as a small business owner. Sometimes you see a lot of corporate businesses, larger businesses, celebrities, and famous entrepreneurs doing things online. You may not need to copy their strategy because sometimes they're just doing that for fun or to create awareness. Today we're here to talk about how to create a profitable digital marketing strategy, which is a strategy that makes you money online.
And I was just going to dive in and ask you, Ogo, what you mean by profitable marketing strategy. Could you just explain that a little more? Because I know you just touched on it just then.
Yes, it's a digital marketing strategy that also makes you money. It helps you create awareness, visibility, impact, and all of these amazing things, but also helps you make money. So that's the differentiator there, helping you create profit. Because as a small business owner, that's really why we're doing digital, most of us, okay? We're not like massive brands or corporates who have different goals, and that's all okay. So the priority for a lot of small business owners is making profits with digital, and that's what we're talking about today.
That's great. Thank you so much. So we spoke about the importance of creating that profitable marketing strategy. How can someone get started with creating that strategy?
Okay, fantastic. A great way to start is I have a framework that I developed a few years ago. It's called the Flow to Profit Framework. There's 4 letters, FLOW, okay? If you go onto creativityandsense.com, you can see the link at the bottom, creativityandsense.com/flow. You should be able to download that free of charge. That's my gift to you today, okay? So F stands for find, okay? And that's a great place to start. That is really the foundation for a lot of the work I do with my clients. So you have to find the intersection between where your strengths, your passion, your skills, and all of that good stuff meet with what your customer needs and wants right now. You know, it has to start with you and what you want, and what works for you and your business. And one big thing to remember is that everybody's different, every business is different. So you really have to key into what works for you. An entrepreneur and author called Kimazi Constable several years ago, he was really at a low place, not much money, not very happy. He got into business. His digital marketing strategy at the time was speaking on other people's podcasts. And using that strategy, he was able to create a multiple six-figure business in a short amount of time. And he has since spoken on over 200 podcasts. So the strategy was just being an amazing guest for other people. He didn't try to start his own podcast, launch his own podcast, make that podcast #1 on iTunes and all of that, just because everybody else was doing that. So you have to think about yourself. What are your strengths? What would you enjoy doing? What is achievable for you at the moment? And go with that.
That's great. Thank you so much. And you mentioned there a link to Biz Consulting as well. Ogo, after this, would you just be able to share that link with me? Because a couple of people have asked the link on the chat, and then we can send that out to everyone afterwards as well.
Absolutely. creativityandsense.com /flow, FLOW. And I'm going to send that to you as well after the session.
That's great. Thank you so much. And I was going to say for everyone listening in as well, if you can get in your questions that you've got for Ogo in the Q&A tab, that would be great. We've got a couple of questions that have come in already, and we'll get those answered at the end of the session. So Ogo, with that in mind, and I know you spoke about at the beginning about business owner at the moment, like business owners, you know, there's a lot of competition in the markets. So how can a business owner differentiate their business in such a fast changing and a highly competitive digital market at the moment?
That's a fantastic question. In that framework as well, the Flow to Profit framework, I share the framework I use with my clients for differentiation. I start by asking 4 questions. And those questions are based on the 4 mathematical symbols: plus, minus, multiply, and divide. What can you add together in order to differentiate yourself? What can you subtract? What can you multiply? What can you divide? For instance, Enterprise Nation have added together lots of passion for what they do, lots of quality as well in their service delivery. Amazing event that you had recently. Well done, guys and ladies. They've added to the mix lots of corporate sponsored programs. Okay, they don't have a membership fee, so they've removed that fee, and they get that money in from the corporate side, I think. And they have lots of events, webinars, live events. It's just multiple events, isn't it? So think about you and your business. What can you add together? What unique elements can you put together? What can you take away? It may not work for you to remove a membership fee, because your business model could be different, but what could you remove? Maybe you have too many products, you need to scale back and have fewer products. What can you multiply? So it always has to be a personal thing. It always has to be something that you really have to think deeply about. And sometimes work with someone who can see your blind spots and help you create a profitable differentiation strategy as well.